2 sacrificial goats were needed for the offering of the Day of Atonement. One was used in the offering in God's tabernacle. When the high priest laid his hands on its head, cut its throat, and killed it, blood came out. He then took the blood and entered the most holy place to sanctify it and all its instruments. Afterwards, the high priest had to lay his hands on the head of the remaining goat, the scapegoat, in front of the people, and a person who was chosen beforehand took it into the wilderness. So that scapegoat carried all the yearly sins of the people of Israel into the wilderness that was void of water or grass, bleeding, wandered about, and died of thirst. 2 sacrificial animals were needed since the sacrificial offering was made twice like that. That was the offering of the Day of Atonement. This wasn't a perfect offering either, since they had to offer such a sacrifice every year. It was an offering that reminded them of sin. Hebrews 10th chapter, verses 3 and 4. Now God wanted to establish an eternal, unchanging offering of salvation rather than the imperfect offerings that had to be offered repeatedly every year. So he promised to offer himself as the eternal sacrifice that no longer needed any more offering for sin. God reminded himself of the necessary high priest and sacrificial offering for an eternal offering exactly according to the law of salvation that he planned even before the beginning of the world. That was the ministry of John the Baptist and that of Jesus. The baptism that John the Baptist gave to Jesus in the Jordan River was the same as the laying on of hands of the Old Testament. In other words, Jesus, as the sacrificial lamb without blemish, came to this earth and received baptism from John the Baptist, the representative of mankind. That way, he received the sins of the whole world. Jesus, who received the transference of sin, hung on the cross and received all the judgment for all those sins. God's justice and his just judgment were fulfilled on this earth through Jesus offering this sacrifice.
Have you truly been born again of water and the Spirit? Written by Paul C. Young. Sermon 8. The Gospel of the Abundant Atonement. How much sin did Jesus blot out?